We're seeing here the climax of Ingmar Bergman's The Magician, made in 1958, which is essentially a struggle between the cold, rational forces of science, represented by Vergerus here, played by Gunnar Björnstrand, and the artistic, imaginative forces, represented by a miracle worker, or a bogus miracle worker, that is, called Vogler, played by Max von Sydow. And the miracle worker has managed to get Vergerus, his mortal enemy, locked in an attic. And what we're seeing now is the revenge that the artist takes on the man of science. And the first thing that frightens him is when he sees this human eyeball in an inkwell. And of course, his rational mind tells him that these things can't be happening. But Vogler, the name of the bogus miracle worker we'll see in a moment, manages gradually to undermine this doctor's calm approach to life and reduce him finally to a bivering wreck. First comes a real example of the old shop of horrors, a human hand. And the doctor's been dissecting what he assumes to be the charlatan's corpse, Vogler's corpse, but in fact, it isn't. It's somebody else's body, but he doesn't know that yet. Hot here under the roof, and we remember those words both from the Wild Strawberries clip we saw and also the Seventh Seal. Bergman's loathing of heat, clammy heat, which oppresses the human mind. And he goes down and finds he can't get out of this attic where he's now a virtual prisoner. But still he tries to keep up appearances. And Bergman loathes these characters who belong to what we might loosely call the professions: doctors, army people, lawyers. These are the kind that Bergman dislikes. He's much more on the side of the artists and the bohemians and the actors. And Vergerus now knows he's in for a struggle.
Något slags verktyg.
He needs some tools, he says, and that's, of course, to carry out the autopsy, which he was just about to begin when these strange happenings started to undermine him. Another nice piece of sleight of hand as he approaches the mirror and suddenly, to his surprise, sees the reflection of Vogler, his enemy, the man who he thinks he's about to dissect, in the mirror. No one there. But Vergerus is made of stern stuff, goes over to the corpse. And what's he lost? He's lost his glasses, which again is a symbol for Bergman of myopia, that when people are without their glasses, they're defenseless, at the same time as a lot of their pretensions go. And Vogler comes and crushes them beyond redemption. And the odds between them, as it were, have been reduced. And still Vergerus tries to analyze the situation rather than respond emotionally to it. Then a clock starts chiming when it shouldn't be chiming. The oldest tricks in the book, but of course what Bergman is doing is also tricking us, the audience, by showing that when well constructed, a scene like this can be just as frightening as much more sophisticated modern horror. He's showing that the old recipes still work. Still trying to adopt a mocking tone, you notice. And each time, Vogler has Vergerus at his mercy and releases him so that he can torture him some more. force him to beg, as it were. And without his glasses, he's helpless and blunders around the attic. And in desperation, reaches a line of boards. And with the pathetic groping of a blind man, begins to work his way along them. Unaware that he's being tracked all this time by Vogler on the other side of the boards. And the lighting is unashamedly that of the theatre. It's all very artificial, but we accept it. We're caught up in this drama. And now Vogler prepares for the final onslaught, advances towards him, forcing Vergeres to scrabble back like an animal, defenseless. The interesting thing is that throughout the rest of the film, Max von Sydow here, playing Vogler, has worn a black beard, but for this sequence he is his real self. And Bergman's drumming whips up the tension until he falls back down the stairs. Vogler's wife bursts in and just stops him from strangling his victim.